Hey y'all, it's Sierra, aka Capricorn Moon Goddess, back with another video for you all. This is going to be a candle making video. So this is my thoughts on 416 melt and tart wax versus 494 melt and tart wax. Okay. So these are both by the same company, Golden Wax or Golden Brands. Um, Now I have been using 494 for years for wax melts. I've tried some other waxes as well, and they all perform pretty well, but before 494 came out, I was using 464, which is a wax you can use for wax melts and candles. But 494, um, y'all probably like, it's always her phone always going off on her videos. 494 was made specifically for wax melt, so you're not supposed to use it for candles. Same thing with 416. You're not supposed to use it for candles. It's formulated specifically for wax melts. I guess they're supposed to perform better because they have a higher content of natural oils and stuff like that. So the oil content, the natural oil content in the soy wax is higher than the other types of wax. So that's why you're not supposed to use them for candles, because that will affect the way the candle burns, okay? And it might drown out your wick and stuff like that. So you're just supposed to use these for wax melts and tarts. Now, I originally found 494 on Candle Science. They were the first people that I saw that were selling it. So I would buy it from them, and then they discontinued it. They stopped selling it. And I had to do research to figure out which number it was, because they didn't put the number. They just put golden wax melt and tart wax. So there's a name for the waxes, and then there's a number. So 416, 494, those are the numbers. So once I figured out it was 494, I saw Flaming Candle was selling it, and a few other places, but I chose to get mine from Flaming Candle. And then recently, Midwest Fragrance Company has started carrying it as well, because they sent me an email saying they now have it. So, but for some reason, you can't find this everywhere. 416 is more readily available than 494. And I'm gonna just tell y'all right now, I don't like 416. Okay. So I got some orders for some wax melts this past weekend, and I was out of my 494 wax, so I ordered some more, and it's supposed to come on Thursday, but I don't like to go past 3 business days before I ship my products. So I want to ship my products today. So I was like, okay, well, I don't want to wait until it comes in the mail Thursday. So I'm just going to go to Waxy Flower, which is what's also known as AAA Candle Supply. It is in Dallas. I live in Dallas, Texas. Sometimes I will drive to Lone Star because they're in um Keller, Texas, but it takes me about an hour to get there, 45 minutes, an hour. For Waxy Flower is like 10 minutes away from me. It's really close. So I was like, I'm just gonna go and try this 416 melt and tart wax, because I can pick it up the same day. I don't have to wait for it to ship. But I've never used it before. Now, I did go on their website and use and look at the reviews, and the reviews are good for this. It's not a whole lot of reviews. It's only 12. People are saying this wax works perfect. I love this wax. It's amazing. I did a lot of research, and this is good for me. All that, right? It's good reviews, okay? Somebody said they've been using it for years. Exceptional quality, blah, 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 blah. I wonder where these people live. I wonder what state they live in. And I'm going to tell you why I said that. So I go to Waxy Flower. And so I tell them, yeah, I want to get some 416. And because y'all don't have 494, and I don't know why it's so hard to find that. I always have to order it, but I mean, I would get it from y'all if y'all sold it, because I can just, come in the store. And she was like, one of the ladies there, she was like, well, yeah, we're thinking about carrying that and maybe replacing 416 with 494. But I don't know. She was like, we were supposed to get a sample of it and we didn't get the sample. I guess Golden Wax never sent them the sample they were supposed to get. So I'm guessing they never carried 494. But she was like, yeah, I think we're supposed to start selling that. Let me, check into that or whatever. And she was like, the issue that we hear a lot from people with 416 is you have to be really, really, like, you have to get the perfect pour temperature. Otherwise, you're going to have frosting, which frosting isn't that bad to me. It's not that big of a deal. You get frosting with a lot of different waxes. But she also said it's lumpy. Sometimes it turns out lumpy. And she was like, I'm thinking it has something to do with the humidity or, in your house. Like, so everybody's house is different. So you have to find the right pouring temperature that works for your house and your environment. So that's why I said, I wonder where the people that left those reviews live. So this is why, if you can go to the candle store, it's a good idea to do that versus just having to go off of what the reviews say online, because the people that work in the store have a lot of information. Most of the time you can ask them questions. Usually they have experimented with these products themselves. They're not just selling them. A lot of people that own candle supply stores make candles also, so it's not like they're selling products that they've never used. So they can give you a lot of information. And she, it told me exactly what probably would happen, which I appreciate. So if you live near Waxy Flower and you need to get wax and stuff, they are very informative when you go in there and they tell you how the wax performs and all that. I wish they had better fragrance oils. I'm not too fond of their fragrance oil selection, so I prefer to get fragrance oils from Lone Star, and I prefer to get my wax from Waxy Flower. Okay, so that way I'm supporting both of the companies in the DFW, Dallas Fort Worth area. So yeah, they're very informative, they're very nice in there. So I appreciate them for that. This is not sponsored. I don't get sponsored by nobody because I don't got enough followers or subscribers yet. But anyway, all the stuff that I buy is with my own money. It's not being sent to me for free. Because some people are like, this is not sponsored, but you got sent the products for free. So that's a form of sponsorship, kind of, a little bit, because you didn't have to pay for it. So I pay for the stuff myself. So these are my real opinions. Although I will say, the people that I watch that are sponsored, they still give their real opinion. If they don't like it, they'll tell you they don't like it, whether or not they got sent it for free, or they're being paid to review it. Most people that review these fragrance oils are honest, because it's gonna, blow back on you if you're not. So you might as well be honest. So yeah, so I got home and I made the wax melt and I tried it at a bunch of different temperatures. And the one that worked the best is basically waiting until the wax is very cloudy and a little bit thick and not warm at all and pouring it in there. That's the only time I did not get lumps. When she said there's lumps, she was right. There's lumps, okay? Which, it's hard to fix that with a heat gun without melting the wax melt container, like the little plastic clamshell. So you don't want to have to use a heat gun to fix wax melts when you're using a plastic clamshell. So I used the heat gun and it worked a little bit. So it didn't work all the way. So I had to do a second pour, like I was making a candle or something. You know how with candles you'll do a second pour to fill in holes or anything like that. Luckily, I didn't fill the wax melts all the way up to the top, and I still had room to do a second pour. So I basically, because I had made like 3 wax melt clamshells with it, so I basically melted down one of the clamshells and waited for it to get cold pretty much. Not cold, but it was cool and it was like thick. I didn't check the temperature. I do a lot of stuff by looking. Um it was thick and cloudy, and then I did a second pour over it, and then that turned out smooth. So, in my opinion, I don't like 416 melt and tart wax. I like 494. I will continue to use that. I've tried other waxes as well, and they work fine. This is the worst wax I've ever used in my life for wax melts. I've never seen any other wax be lumpy like that. And at the end of the day, I'm not about to sit here and try to figure out the perfect temperature. That is not the most efficient way to get the job done. I'm about efficiency. I'm about it looking nice. Okay. I care about the aesthetic. So I don't want to be sending people no lumpy wax melts. Okay. And it could be where I live. Like she said, we're in Texas. It can be humid here. So yeah, I don't like 416, but if you like it, let us know, okay? Cuz we need to hear everybody's opinions. If you like it, let us know, and if you know what temperature you're pouring at that works well for you, let us know, okay? That might be helpful to us. In my opinion, I'm not using this again once I run out. I'm not using it again. I'm only going to use it cuz I still have a lot left. I'm going to use it to test fragrance different fragrances that I have, and I'm not going to use it to like make my products to send to people. I'm just not going to do that. I'm going to use 494. 494 is not perfect by any means, but at least you don't get lumps, okay? The lumps I can't deal with. The frosting I can deal with. The lumps, no, that's not going to work for me. So anyway, that's my opinion on 416 versus 494, which are both waxes specifically for wax melts and tarts. I have tried the flaming candles wax melt wax as well. I just don't remember what it's called, but it's not by Golden. It is not by IGI. I don't think. No, it's not. So I've tried theirs and it works well. So, like I said, this is the worst one I've tried so far. So, thank you for listening to me rant about 416 melt and tart soy wax. Okay, please like, share, and subscribe if you feel called to do so. And have a great rest of your day. Toodles.